All right. I think we're live. Welcome. This is my first time trying out this streaming while painting. Fingers crossed that everything works okay. We are going to start off today with WizKids, Nolzers, Unpainted, Lizardfolk. This is a recent release. We're going to use some contrast paints and give it a shot. So fingers crossed that everything works okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? All right. Cool. We are going to color most of him with Citadel Color Contrast Militarum Green. I see a comment. Looks great. Setup and mini both. Thank you. Text messages are appreciated. All right. So we're going to start with green on his body. Lizardfolk are super fun. I really like their racial abilities where they can craft basic weapons out of and tools out of their bones of their enemies. It's pretty practical, if not kind of gnarly. I really like this green. I think it's like a nice classic kind of green, like a foresty green. We'll do his frill in orange later. It'll be very exciting. Still getting my positioning correct. We'll do some color accents on them later, but right now we're just kind of getting the base down. The lizard's name, I wish I had a ding dong notification noise. I need to figure that out. The lizard's name is going to be well, I've already got a lizard friend named Geki, so we probably don't want to duplicate that. So it's another kind of a lizard. A skink. Let's call them skinkers. This is skinkers, everybody. How's the camera angle working? My positioning. Yeah, I think I might need to move it back a little bit. So in the meantime, let's switch to this guy. Let's get some side angle. The problem with the top camera is that it is mounted on the ceiling and I can't really move it. I guess I could move the whole desk up a little bit. I always like to rearrange rooms. Getting in all the crevices, particularly the crotchal crevice right now. This is kind of fun. Talking to myself. I saw a thing that said even if you have 0 people, even if you have 0 people watching your stream, you should still act as if you had 1,000,000 people. I think that's a good idea. Yes, you can use regular paints and contrast paints in harmony, in unison, and I will be doing that. We're putting down the contrast paint to give us our main bits, and then we'll do some highlighting on these tummy scales with a different green, and then we'll do the same. We'll do an orange contrast on the frill, and then we will highlight with some regular oranges and yellows. Oh, could you use contrast paints to water down your regular paints? Or could you use contrast to water down your... I wouldn't mix the two, but there is a thing called contrast medium that's like the runny bits of the contrast paint. And you could mix that with a regular paint and kind of create your own. But it's not going to be as effective as something formulated from the ground up. Oh. Gotcha. It smells like Chinese food in here. I think this miniature is really fun. Lots of detail. Works perfect with contrast paints. Scaly creatures are the best for contrast paints, I think. I didn't realize my head was down so much. Here, let's switch back. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the inside of his mouth yet. So for now, we'll just fill it in with green to keep it away from the base white. Although I'll probably go red in there. Tricky bit. We're up against that. We don't want to get on the frill. Getting all the sides. If we can stay on camera. We've got a second viewer. Welcome to the stream. Testing out this setup. I hope it's okay. We're painting a WizKids Nolzur's Marvelous Miniature Unpainted Lizardfolk, aka a lizard person. In older editions of D&D, these are just, it was called a lizard man, which is kind of fun and like a charming, like, oh yeah, of course, it's a lizard man, but isn't super inclusive. So, Lizardfolk. We're using contrast paints to get our base coating down. A little challenging in a couple of spots here. I need to figure out how to put music on here. So we can dance, do sing-alongs. Yes, if somebody would like to come into this room and sing, they're welcome to, but I'm not asking them to. I think this Lizardfolk actually has like a full, like a plate gauntlet, which is, or maybe it's a bracer. Let's go with bracer. So give him his fingers.
My muffin top is all that.
Whole grain, low fat. I know you want a piece of. Oh.
But I'm just here to dance.
I need a mirror to point the camera at you. Thank you. Special musical accompaniment. Very, very. Oh, you are both doing a wonderful job. I'm painting as well. Well, Julie Fry, what are you painting? Is it a wall? Because I'm going to bet it's a wall. But maybe it's not a wall. Maybe it's furniture. Do you still do that with the where you rusticize furniture? Just get it scratched up. Yes, I am. Just by chance, it's the laundry room. The laundry room, aka in the Fry household in Michigan, is not in fact a laundry room, but it is in fact a turkey storage facility for Thanksgiving. That is where the big crock pots and whatnot go to stay warm and keep some of the heat away from everybody else. What color is the laundry room going to be? Blue? The bathroom looked pretty nice. Yeah, I do need to figure out something with this camera. Is it crazy that you're talking to me on the internet? It might be a little bit. It is, but not this year. Don't know what we're doing for Thanksgiving. It's a blue, green, gray, aqua. That really narrows it down. But Thanksgiving is interesting this year, right? Like, I don't know. Or, I mean, we'll probably just eat the two of us. Maybe order a chicken instead of a turkey like we normally do. I think before everything happened, it was the idea of us going to Michigan this year was on the table. But obviously not anymore. Keep your yes, thank you. It's challenging because you want to keep, like, obviously I want to keep it on screen, but it's not exactly the greatest angle for me, so that is something for me to fix. Today we're drinking bubbly watermelon flavor. I regret now not painting the turtle, so we could have a conversation about that Ninja Turtle pizza from the fair. That was always the best. I'm pretty sure that crust was 75% sugar, but it was good. All right. No, we normally get a chicken. We don't need a whole turkey. And we'll probably order it from like Whole Foods or something, the delivery services. We have done our absolute best to not leave the house. We went to get some Chinese last night on there's an app called Nextdoor where it's like a miniature social network for neighborhoods. And somebody posted, "What's your favorite Chinese food in the area?" And so many people, dozens and dozens, were like, "Oh, this one restaurant," and we're like, "Oh, we've never had it. Let's try it." And they have a drive through, so you know it's gonna be good. And we get there, and the lady has in the drive through window has her mask down on her mouth, but not on her nose. And then she brings out the food, and she's got her mask is just like on her neck. So reinforced for us to never go out. All right. In real life, this does not look as cartoonishly green. I think we're in a pretty good spot with the green. And inside that shell is going to be a nightmare. Okay. We will wash out our brush. And some water. And now switch over to Griffhound Orange. I have not used this one yet. So I hope it works. Looks pretty good. I'm going to use this for the frill. Oh yeah, that's okay. It's a little reddish brown, but this is just the base. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good match with the green. I don't know. You tell me. Is this orange Tim Fry approved? A little messy. That's okay. All right. Rinse off. I think we're going to do the wood on the spear now. Crayon box. Yes. That is a good. Ugh. It'll be okay. Okay, we're going to go to Wildwood. More contrast paint. This will be for the spear handle. I think this is my new Wildwood. 1 second. I'm going to grab a different bottle. There we go. It's always good to keep a couple extra bottles of paints you use often. And this Wildwood, I think, is a really, really nice dark brown. Where are we at? There we go. Goes right into the bits. And we'll paint over that leather wrapping with an actual paint instead of contrast. Lizardfolk. This is kind of the basic version of one. We also have in the same pack, you get a kind of like a voodoo witch doctor, shaman, priest kind of guy. And we will do him in the future. Thank you for the vote of confidence. A lot of times I'll use this dark brown for the kind of noble furniture to make it look a little nice. And then I've got a bunch of different browns that we'll use for like tavern or townsfolk wood. Setting these kind of like standard colors, your players will get used to it, and then they'll kind of know the like atmosphere of their location. All right, I've got a little bit in there. And we don't have to be super precise here because we're going to paint over it when we paint the kind of wrapping on it. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Huge miniatures. Thank you. Huge minis. One of my favorite. Oh, I just painted a, I don't have it handy. I just painted a skeletal dragon, and I used a whole bunch of blue flowers in the original packaging. I need to get something with your new packaging on there. And I'm just trying out this streaming setup, so fingers crossed. No. But I don't know. I think it'll be pretty fun. And the Huge Miniatures recently came out with this like powder effect for like kind of rust, I think. I haven't actually used it yet. I saw that y'all put together a video on how to use it. That's in my queue of things I need to watch. Because I do look forward to using that. Okay, so let's take a stab at the shield. So for the shield, we're going to go ahead and use Gore-Grunta fur. So this contrast paint, this is a kind of a like a woodish brownish, but there's a lot of orange in there, and I think that'll be fun for the turtle shell to kind of tie to his hair a little bit. And once the highlights go on, it'll be even more differentiated than it will at this point. So hope this looks good. Here we go. Oh yeah, Gore-Grunta fur. I think it's one of the most underrated contrast paints. Everybody's always on the wildwood, which is what I just used, or the snakebite leather. Snakebite leather is great. That's probably my favorite brown of any paint ever. But you can't use one paint for everything. It's got a lot of yellow in it. This one has kind of the orangish brown. And then these kind of stabby bits we will do as kind of like ivory. We'll do that in a little bit. So hard bit, we're gonna try to get right here without touching the skin, getting on the back side of the turtle shell. All right. Sometimes for balance, it's easiest to lay something down and go at it that way. I think we're looking pretty good so far, right? At one point, I used to, I would cut something like this that where it's so hard to get back there accurately. I would cut the arm off, and then we'd glue it back on, and it would work. I mean, obviously you'd be able to get back there, but the like joint of putting it back together was never as smooth as it should be. here. So we're going to try to get back here without touching this body, which is not easy. Oh, see, got some on the tail. So always keep extra brush handy to try to brush it off. Yeah, see, it's still there a little bit. But that's okay, we're going to do some stuff there anyway. Yeesh. All right. That is enough for that pass. Great. Do you have strategy for painting the body? Then detail. Is that easier than if you had started with the shield? Yeah, so generally you want to start with the lowest layer of something. So if you were to paint me, you'd want to paint my skin, and then you would paint my shirt. That way, when you're working your way up, you can cover. Whereas if I started with my shirt and then painted my skin, and if I got a little bit of skin color on my shirt, I'd have to go back and paint it again. Although I am about 2,000 degrees in this room right now. So give me 1 second, y'all, while we turn this sauna temperature off. Great. Okay, so, oof. So that muddy bit right there, or all that white, that's the bracer and the leather wrap for the shield holder, the band. So let's go ahead and do the bracers. And for the bracers, do you want to go metal? They don't really wear metal, right? They're bone people. So I guess, yeah, okay. For bone, skeleton horde. Can't beat it. Oh, leather would be good too. We just got so much brown already. I don't know. Yeah, because we're going to do these as ivory. So let's have fun with it. And it's a D&D, so anything can be anything. And we're going to give it some blue. Space Wolves Gray. This is kind of a bluish, grayish color. That we will try out. I think it'll accent everything quite nicely. It's not as dark as I was thinking, but that's okay. Yep, a little too much. If you ever get too much paint, just get your paint brush dry-ish of paint, and then come back and I'll suck it right up. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. All right, now we'll do the inside bracer. And very, very hard part. I might have to go off camera for this part. Stay with me. This is the hardest part, is getting these crazy inside corners. All right, good enough for now. All right, so he's starting to look pretty nice. Wipe our brush. Ooh, hey there, how's it going? Oh, I keep a spare dry brush for sucking up. Yeah, that's a good plan. That is a great plan. This brush right here is one of my oldest brushes and very well used brush, and you can actually see some dust coming off. Never use this for detail work, but for sucking up extra paint or getting into just blobby areas, it works great. And it is going pretty okay. Tim Fry, we wanted to get your thoughts on this orange frill, since you do legally own the color orange. Thought you might have some input. Looking great. Good life, poor brush. Yeah. That whole set, actually, from Amazon, e-boot. I don't even know. Very good though. That most of my minis have been painted with that set. And even now, this other one that I'm using is also from there. Okay, so we want to do the ivory color on these spikes, right? But look, we got some contrast paint on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of white. And this is just some Reaper Pure White. And we will paint over the contrast paint. Normally, I would say water down in your paint, of course, but for this, we're just doing a little spot coverage, so we'll be okay. There we go. Let's see. So if Julie Fry is painting the laundry room, is Tim Fry taking a nap? Tim Fry of timsturnings.com, by the way. World premiere, high quality, best in the universe wood turning. Yeah, so that'll be great. And now just to match it, we'll also cover the spearhead, because that primer, that gray primer, is just a little bit different than the white. Nope, just got home from work. Good. I hope nobody dropped a hammer on their toes today. Okay. And you know what? I think at the bottom of that spear, here, I think at the bottom of the spear, there's like a stuck in piece of the bone. So we'll do that too. Making this weapon great for Polearm Master. right, we'll give that a rinse-a-roo. Revert to our top down. Okay, so while that white is drying, let's go ahead and let's get another brown for that base. There. This will be the time we can use our snake bite leather. So this brown is fantastic. It works great as a leather. It's just got this, like, to call it richness, I think would be a little cheesy, but it's like a delicious graham cracker. I love my Tim's Turning painting handle. Yes, this is a Tim's Turning painting handle. Tim's Turnings painting handle. As featured on Worm Life from Wormwood. After 3 months. Oh, very orange, good and bright. Thank you. Oh, that was your work. Your work was good and bright. Great. Snap. Snap back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. I was watching a YouTube video today by this guy who does these really great walkthroughs of this virtual tabletop called Foundry. And the YouTube guy, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name right now. He was talking about this turtle character he has named Snap. And I don't know if you know, Snap's Shimmer Shell, one of my favorite characters of all time. My first like real Adventures League characters. It's also a turtle. There we go. All right, so now he's got his base rough painted out. Okay, so I think that white is going to be dry enough now where we can go ahead and put on our skeleton horde to give us that little bit of bony color. All right. Spear is looking good. Shield. Easy peasy. Great. Now, what color do we want the wrap to be? I feel like some red would be nice. You're throwing your spear in the forest, the jungle, the swamp. You want a color that'll stand out, so red seems like a good bet. So we need that white back to get down here on this rope so we can paint over it. Ooh, orange like his hair. It's a good idea too. But you'll never know if I can't keep this on the screen. All right, so we've got it white again. I like what you're saying about the orange, but I think I'm gonna go red. I'm sorry. I know that makes me a bad YouTuber. Okay. More contrast paints, Blood Angel Red. So now we need to be really, maybe a smaller brush for this. Switching over to Reaper Pro. Long, narrow brush. Your problem if he looks like a Christmas tree. Yeah, well, that's the danger. All right. I think it looks okay. Maybe if we ever get to play at a table again, you can call this the Santa Lizard or something. And he'll do 1d6 elf damage, sparkle magic. I think that looks pretty good. All right. Always tough finding a balance between Captain Rainbow and a tonal mess. Yes. Please make him a tiny felt Santa hat. I will leave that up to you. All right. So for our last bit of blocking, we need to do the strap on his shield. And for that, let's just use black. The white fuzz could be a belly button. Oh, could be belly button lint. That makes sense. All right. So this is just Reaper Pure Black. I forgot. Reaper Pure Black. You need to shake, shake, shake. Forever. I don't know what it is about Pure Black, but it loves to be separated. Okay. Here we go. So we're just coming in here. And we're not worried about too much detail on this, just to cover it out. Now the back will be very hard. I don't know that. Okay, hold on. It's the absence of color. Anybody knows a better way to get to these impossible to reach bits, let me know. All right, good enough. Okay, so while we've got this black, we're going to go ahead and give him a little bit of a black eyeball for now. Although we will be back to do more there. And no, that's it. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's work on his chest scales first. No, let's work on his hair. That's what we're here for, right? Okay, so more Reaper. This is a Pathfinder series, Cavalier Orange. The oranges are often not super thick. They're pretty translucent, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know how well it'll work, but we'll try it. Okay. So we're gonna go for kind of like spikes of color. Okay. We are okay. Flip side. So we're going to just not quite up to the tip of the spikes, the outside bits. But yeah, that's the problem with the orange, is that it can be hard to see. It will look awesome. Thank you. Okay. Do a second pass. And then when we come in with the yellow, hopefully that lightens us all the way out. All right, you can see a little bit color blending. Okay, so this is more Reaper. This is Gilded Yellow. I'm gonna try to give this a shot. And because we're using so little of this, I'm not worrying about watering it down. All right, where are we at? All right. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Spread that guy out a little bit more. Cool. So they're not supposed to look like they have fire hair. That's just their frills are this kind of yellowy orange. Thank you. I agree. Now, of course, I don't think you need to worry so much about matching the color of something as it looks in a book. You can make anything, but sometimes it's nice to keep it classic. All right, let's grab a green. Let's see. Okay. So we've grabbed two colors. Ghostfire, which is brand new, and Tianzia Jade, also from a Pathfinder line. So, which color? Do you want his tummy to be lighter and his back darker, or his back lighter and his tummy darker? Let me know in the comments. Ghostfire tummy, Ghostfire back. Light tummy. All right. Here we go. Okay, so now this one, I think we're gonna use enough where I will put in just a little bit of water. Not a lot. I demand more camera angles. I'm sorry, sir. My computer is barely staying alive with what we've got. Tummy darker. Ooh. Okay, we've got a challenge, but I'm afraid Julie went first, so we're going to go with light tummy. Okay, so we're mixing up this. Looking good. I don't have my Level Up Larry shirt on. Should have planned better. I'm sorry. All right, let's see how this works. So first, we're just trying to cover all these scales, and then we'll come in with another color as like a accent to darken it back down. So this is very bright, but don't worry. Where we go. Big miss. No worries. No obligation for anyone to be here. If I was sitting here talking to myself, that would be a-okay. I'm worried about the green. Well, this is definitely a little bright. But it'll work out. because we can still always just put a wash on it too. I don't know how far south we want to go on this guy. What are your concerns? I was making Kool-Aid, no fair. Black cherry Kool-Aid? I hope your concerns aren't just the color. Yeah, we'll just do the chest. I don't want to, because I don't want to do the whole tail in that color. And then I think that'll take away too much of his body. Lisa Lavello, don't worry, be happy. Thank you for joining. I hope your cat is happy. It looks too light and too seafoamy. Yes, no, I agree. But this is in progress. All right. Rebecca Lavello. Rebecca the cat. I know the jokes. Okay. So I don't know, and it's totally okay if y'all are, but I don't know, like my viewer sometimes it drops to 0. And I still get messages, but it shows that I've got 0 viewers. And so if you're clicking out and clicking back in, that's no problem at all. I just don't know if it's supposed to be doing that. Rebecca's very busy. All right. Okay, so yes, we can all agree that is definitely lighter than anticipated. So let's go ahead and grab a wash to put on him right now. Which wash do we want to go with? Military shader. Let's try that. So, Army Painter Quick Shade, Military Shader. We'll just put a couple of drops in here. And this will darken us back down pretty quick while keeping us in the green world. Although this green might be too powerful. I can't stand it. Whoever said light tummy might have ruined this mini forever. JK. Okay, that's better, but we'll wait for that to dry before we do anything else. Bub. It does kind of look like he's wearing an 80s leotard. It's okay. We'll get it fixed. Okay, so up next, I guess we can start with his back, where we'll go darker. Yeah, I agree. We can bring in some brown on him. Ooh, here we go. This is a volcanic, gassy paint. So, bad habit is reusing paint cups that are very dry. You'll be okay. Let's see. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now this one again, I plan on putting a wash on, so don't panic too much. But a little panic is okay. Daka Daka Flame, hello. Welcome to the stream. This is my first time ever painting on a stream. We're painting a Lizardfolk WizKids D&D. And we are trying not to go crazy with these colors. Let's get the sides of the tail, the top bits. Here, let's switch cameras for a little bit. Oh, that's me. There we go. I need to switch sides, that's on. Nice. Thanks. I'm not sure if you've got me on YouTube. If you are already a subscriber, thank you. I appreciate that very much. If you're not, I'd love if you did. I'm also on Instagram. I post every Tuesday and Thursday, new minis. And I'm even trying out Twitter, but not doing much on there right now. Uh-oh. Oh, this is totally out of focus. Somebody say something. Let's see. Here we go. Hold your breath, everybody. Oh, my head threw off our focus. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So we'll let that dry. Oh no. We got a tiny little drop of green right on his frill. So we'll do a quick spot with a little bit of yellow. Well, that wasn't my best move. It's okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I do like these blue-green colors are adding to the fantasy element. Yes, thank you. I agree. But yeah, we will match it all together a little bit more. So once that dries, Meantime, what color is the mouth of a lizard? Is it like whitish, pinkish, kind of like raw chicken? I'm not sure. That's what I picture. So let's go with a little bit of pink. All right, so blue tongue skinks are a thing, yeah. This is Brains Pink. This is from Reaper. This is one of their Halloween ghoulie bag colors. So we'll go with that. Sometimes our paint can get clogged up and not come out. That's okay. Pale white, no, okay. That's why we've got these little poppers. Stick it. Oh, geez. That was well stuck. Push it through, and then hopefully it clears the clog. And it did. Oh yeah, Brains Pink. What did you paint with the Brains Pink? Was it a zombie of some sort? Working on a pink orc. I like it. Which mini is it? Yeah, then we can leave the top. I think that looks okay. Maybe we'll put a little bit in there. It's a flash kit. Is that from Warhammer or something? I'm sorry. I don't know anything. I noticed you spelled orc with a K, which makes me think it's a Warhammer type thing. But yeah, Warhammer. As I understand it, if there's one thing more expensive than D&D minis, it's Warhammer minis. Yeah, I think that pink was a good fit. Okay. So we're looking pretty dry over there. That's good. We do need to do the wrap on the tusk on the stabby bits. Yeah, they're expensive depending on the minis. Hey, so with Warhammer, you're not supposed to do 3D printed minis, right? For the games, you're only supposed to buy them. Is that accurate? I think I've seen people say that before, but I don't know. Oh, that wasn't the black. I have very little experience with 3D printed minis. I don't have a 3D printer myself. Maybe one day one of those companies will send me one. We'll see. What was I doing? Oh yeah. A little bit of wrap. You play in Games Workshop stores, you're not supposed to use third party, but independent stores depend on each store's rules. Okay, that makes sense. with Adventurers League in D&D, there's the official rules that everybody's supposed to use for Adventurers League, so that way your character works between all the different tables and games and conventions. But a lot of stores will come up with their own kind of miniature official in air quotes league, and that's cool. The problem is that when people don't know the difference and they try to take that character to a convention or something that uses the official rules, and then it's all out of whack. All right, that is okay. Let's go back to that white, and we're gonna try very carefully to get some tooth marks on here. So I have very little paint on our brush, and we're going to try to go up against the sides. So maybe it looks, oh no, that's okay. Maybe it looks like he's got one big tooth. not our proudest moment. You'd think they'd have bigger chompers. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So he's looking okay. What do we need? He's got kind of that dinosaur line. Sometimes they have like kind of like makeup here. I don't know if it's makeup or other color, but I think we're going to leave that off for this guy. Ooh, okay. So one of the things that I do with my miniatures is I go for tabletop ready. So I am not aiming for super high end, like museum quality painting or anything like that. So this guy might actually be ready just for a big old brown wash to make him kind of like look muddy before we start to base him. Kind of going for like a basic look, but I think that'll be a-okay. There are two ways to look at minis generally: 3 foot rule and a 3-inch rule. A 3-inch rule would be, oh, does this look good enough 3 inches away? That's where you're looking at your museum quality, your art styles. Oh, his toenails. Get his toenails real quick. And then you have 3 feet where you're playing on the table, where it needs to look like you want it to look good, but you're not going to break yourself over trying to get it to look perfect. And I am definitely a 3 foot guy. Because we've actually spent more time on this guy than I meant to. So we're just painting on some white on these toenails to clean them up. And then we will skeleton horde again. Although I kind of like the white, and once we put the brown wash on there for the whole thing, it'll work itself out. So I think we'll actually keep it just super white. All right. All right, let me grab a wash. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with soft tone because we want a little bit of brown to tie us together, but nothing to kind of like paint it brown. So some like, ooh, I got a dried bit. I'll do a little bit of surgery. Blech. Gross. Like the brown wash, it's just called brown wash from Reaper. That's gonna make it look brown, like just straight up brown. So our big old ugly brush, our favorite, we're gonna use this guy here. All right, everybody remember what this guy looks like in case we mess him up. He looks like trash, and we're gonna do the eyeball last. So here we go. Oh yeah, we are brown. One thing I like about these quick shades is they act almost like a sealer too, so you don't even have to do a spray. I feel like a Lizardfolk that lives in a swamp should be kind of dirty. So I think this will work out. Although I'm going to try to avoid the frill. With this monstrosity of a brush. One advantage of using a kind of a wash like this is those little bits that we missed up in the cracks and the hard to reach bits. This will just give us a little bit of a shading on that. It's kind of like a backup. But if you use the same wash on every mini you paint, your minis will end up looking a little samey. And that is something that I am trying to work around. Here, we're gonna get a little detailed. Okay. Yeah. One thing I find is that these look a lot better when I take the real pic, like in person, it looks better. And then when I take the real picture that I post on Instagram, I think it looks even better still than on this camera, on the stream. No longer worried. Great. All right, so we will let that dry, and we're gonna grab not sure if a red or orange, but for the frill. Yeah, we'll go red. But we don't need a lot. Always rinse your brush. Don't lick it. All right, this is the part I'm most worried about. Oh yeah, we're okay. Ooh, that's doing some nice stuff. Look at that. That was a good move. Okay. Clean up a little bit. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. And that's without any dry brushing or anything. Let's get a little bit more on the toe. The nail itself. Okay, so that eyeball, like they'd have a black eyeball, right? Maybe we'll go yellow. Bring back our pure yellow. We want him to be a little more dry. Okay, so it's a very precarious situation we're going to go into. I'm not sure 100% how dry we are. I guess we're okay. Got this yellow, and we're just going to try to do just a yellow blob because his eyes are very tiny. All right. Maybe we'll need to give him a little bit of a pupil. Yeah, his eye is spreading. Normally, I would have waited a little bit longer for that to dry, but we're trying to do this on camera. Where's our black? Okay, so we wait for him to dry. I'm going to grab a base. I'll be right back. Okay. So I prefer Reaper bases. They've got a little bit of vertical height to them, I guess, as opposed to horizontal height. I don't know. I just like them lifted up off the table a little bit more. So this wood handle, this is just some tacky paste stuff. This is made by timsturnings.com. We're going to try to peel him off. Pretty easy for the most part. And then we will super glue him down and then reattach the base, trying to touch him as little as possible. Applying the super glue directly to the mini. And then just placing him on the base. Holding it tight for a second. Then we can push him back down. All right, now we'll wait for that to glue up. Okay, I think that little yellow bit has dried, so we can do just as tiny of a possible of a black dot or slit, I guess, for our eye as we can get away with. It's our tiniest brush. Yeah, I've never used this guy before as a virtuoso liner. All right, everybody hold your breath. Here we go. Oh, my head. All right, that worked. Now let's see if we can do it again. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be kind of hard to see on camera, but in person, we are looking pretty solid. I like it. It's a good brush. Keep it twisted. Okay, so the hair's good. Stabby's good. He is affixed to his base. So now we're going to do a little bit of basing. Nothing crazy. Let me grab a mud. All right, so we are almost done, in fact. We're going to use huge minis mud. If you want to see some more information on these basing effects, check out my YouTube. I don't know how to do a link in a stream, but I've got some videos on there in the reviews playlist. And then we will add in some huge minis mossy debris for just a little bit of ground effects. Okay, so this mud is like a paste. So it's like just like a goo. So we're going to scoop it out. You can use a toothpick or anything. I've got this little metal thing that works pretty well. And then we will just kind of splatter it, kind of stamp it down. Just like this. And I like to do basing stuff. I don't like to go crazy with it though. Because sometimes if you have too much basing, it can kind of pull you. Like I think one of the reasons we use black bases for minis, or clear now, I guess, is that way it's easier to see that mini in whatever environment you're playing in. So if you're in a dungeon or whatever. If you do like a really elaborate base where he's like in a swamp, but oh, guess what? You want to use that particular mini in a dungeon. Well, why the heck is he all swampy, you know? So it's kind of a little balance, but I do like to do it a little bit. And if we're kind of muddy, it's okay to get a little bit on the feet. You don't want to do too much on the feet or cover them up, but if I walk in mud, I'm going to get mud on my feet. Makes sense. Now, if you were doing more like a bust or like a diorama, like of course basing makes sense there. All right. So let's that off. Now we take them off. And so see how we have it kind of sticking around the rim? We need to get that off before it dries. So we'll take some of our paper towel, the secret weapon of a miniature painter, paper towel. You can use your finger for this too if you want. And we're going to try to get it flush. And then just go all the way around. And try not to mess up. If you do, that's normal. And maybe you do a couple passes, you know, you do one where you get most of it. And then you do a second pass to clean up, which is what we're going to do. All right. So put our lid back on our mud. And then we can set our guy back on our stand. So he's got just a little bit of mud. Clean up a little bit. Touch up where you need to from where the paper towel might have pushed things around. And with our tongs, we're going to take out a piece of this grass and we just stick it. So if you were to put the grass right on a base, like on the plastic, you'd want to use a little bit of glue. But with a mud kind of basing effect, you can just stick it right in. So just a little bit. It's kind of standing over it, maybe stepping on it, smush it up against his foot. Although it looks like this guy I might have tried to use before. There we go. So you get just a little bit of an environment with him. It works out, looks nice. Let's take a look at the other camera. Yeah, that is dark camera. Huh? All right. So that, y'all, where's my face? We have a Lizardfolk. I think he turned out pretty good. That was what? Just over an hour? I don't even know where I see my time. Whatever. Yeah, just over an hour, I think. He came out pretty okay. He's going to look good on the table. We'll get his picture up and we'll get him posted to FryMinis on Instagram here in the near future. Thank you for watching this experiment in streaming. I think it worked out pretty okay. I definitely look to do it in the future. Yeah, I don't know. I had fun. I hope you had fun. I really appreciate you watching. Oh, an hour and 40 minutes, actually. Okay. Thanks again for watching. FryMinis, FryMinis.com, FryMinis on YouTube, FryMinis on Instagram, FryMinis on Twitter. Thank you. I'll see you next time. If I can stop this stream.